We all know that Atlanta, Georgia is increasingly becoming a destination for movie making. In fact, they call it the Hollywood of the South, thanks to people like my guest, Terrell Sandefur. He's a film and TV producer. He's the co-founder and managing director of FilmGeorgia.com. And he is also the co-host of the Georgia event at the Sundance Film Festival, the Choose Georgia event.
Correct. Yeah.
So tell us why we should choose Georgia and what you'll be doing at the Sundance Film Festival.
Well, why you should choose Georgia is, one, the reason that they're here is because we have a 30% tax credit that went into effect in 2008. So over the years, rapidly, we've become a huge film state.
And not only because of the tax credit, right? It's
Well,
a desirable place to film.
It is it is the initial reason for them to come here. But after, aside from the tax credit, it's much more economical to do everything here. Live here, film here, work here, compared to Los Angeles and New York. Obviously, the cost of living is a lot less. So they love it here. They love the people here. And now, back in the day when it first started, they pretty much had to bring everyone in from LA and New York because no one here knew how to work in the film industry. Over the years, now we have a huge local crew of people that know how to do everything in front of the camera, behind the camera. So we have become a major film state.
So you yourself have been involved in several projects. I know most recently Life Binder.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of your projects, where we can see them. Why Georgia?
Well, the film I just got finished with is Life Binder, and it is a short film, and it is dealing with the opioid crisis. So, which
Very
is
close to home.
Well, it's close to everybody's home because it's a national crisis. But we've done it. It's not a documentary. It is very much a narrative about a cool young Atlanta rock band. One of them overdoses and dies, and it's going back between 2009 and 2019, back and forth.
That
and
is
where they've
so
gone.
topical right now, Terrell.
It's very topical. When we started putting what the movie was about out on social media, I started getting people literally, not even in this country, out of the country, asking me if I'd come to Canada and bring the film. And I'm like, we hadn't even started filming yet.
Wow. And now the film is finished. You've wrapped.
It's finished.
Where
We're
can we
wrapped,
see it?
And we have started submitting to film festivals, quite a few.
I don't think there's anybody watching this right now who doesn't know somebody, a family member, a friend who is not impacted by the opioid crisis in this country.
You are correct when you say that. Out of we started doing cast and crew interviews, and one of our questions to them before we ever started filming was, do you have a personal connection to the opioid crisis? If so, what is it? Everybody had not just one, but multiple stories.
No question. And other projects that you're passionate about, that you've worked on, also fascinating, Terrell, that you've gone from being in the catering world to the film world, entertainment on a different level.
Well, I started the Macon Film Festival with a group of people in 2005, which was 3 years before we had a Georgia film tax credit, at least the 30% tax credit. There was, Tyler Perry was here, Screen Gems was here. There was a little bit of production. Burt Reynolds had put Georgia on the map in the 70s with all his films, but we did not have, it was not a film state.
So Burt Reynolds filmed here extensively in the 70s.
Yeah.
Give an example of a film.
Deliverance.
Oh, Deliverance. Thank you for educating me.
Deliverance was one of the first ones. Sharky's Machine was one of a later one that he actually directed and starred in, but Jimmy Carter and Burt Reynolds actually started because Burt was coming here and he loved Georgia, and he loved filming in Georgia. He filmed, I think, the majority of his films in the state of Georgia.
Now, you who are watching may know that. I, who only came to Atlanta in 1997, had no clue about that, so thanks for educating us.
Well,
and President Carter, you say.
He was governor. Jimmy Carter was the governor at the time and started the film commission, the Georgia Film Commission, because of Burt Reynolds doing his movies here. And he was it.
So walk us through the process. Something like Life Binder, the opioid crisis, very topical. How did you get from conception to execution?
Well, the writer-director, Sarah Bess Fiera, she had approached me at an art opening here in Atlanta that we had worked on a film together for Joseph Guay 10 years before. a short film. She was actually the manager of Clothing Warehouse, so it was a 70s period piece.
Then you have to get money.
So she did all that. So she brought me a script. Please read it. What do you think? I read it. I loved it. I'm like, she's like, I'd like for you to come on as a producer. I'm like, I will if we can make it a short and not a feature. So we rewrote it. I raised all the money to fund it.
Well, we were just discussing the fact earlier that you had to bring people from LA and you had to bring people from New York, and now the community exists. However, I recently heard on NPR that while there's a huge amount of film happening here, profitability is not always with the people who live here in Atlanta. The people from LA and New York are still earning more. Is that true?
Right. Well, the thing about it is, it's really, as far as the economic impact of film and television production, it's very hard to put your finger on exactly what it is. There is a formula that the film office uses based on the number of people, whatever. They don't get the actual budgets because as a producer, I don't have to tell you that when I'm coming here. To me, it seems like they should. If they're getting tax credits, we need to know. But they're just making it, even with, if they knew I'm renting a house, or I have bought a house, or renting a condo, whatever, going out to dinner, those are not taken into account. Okay. The gas I'm putting in my car to get to work, not taken into account. And that is a lot of money. And that is a lot of money that's going into the pockets of Georgians, and there again, if I'm somebody who owns a bunch of real estate and I'm renting to the film industry, well, do I want to be really upfront about exactly what I'm earning? Because I'm going to have to pay tax.
So you're saying it's unquantifiable.
Yes.
So Terrell, here we are, 2020. What do you see happening for the Georgia film industry and for you personally?
Well, we're having I'll be in Sundance in 2 weeks from today. I am getting my phone, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, email, everything is blowing up from all these people trying to get an invitation to the party.
We want an invitation to the party.
That's really, really good. So we'll definitely have another sellout crowd this year. And the people that are contacting me now it's primarily Los Angeles people.
Can I ask you, what's going to be served at this party?
Well, we do it at a place called the High West Saloon, very Western. And we go in and they do a catering for us that's very Georgia. Okay. So, like last year, and I don't deal with the menu, can you believe that?
No,
I should, with my background. Another girl in our group deals with the event
but
company.
There'll be fried chicken. And peaches.
Fried stuff. Typically, there's a peach-based cocktail. Right. And like last year, I think it was called the Georgia Peach. It will probably be called that this year. Right. Very original. And like fried green tomatoes, but like gourmet upscale.
But it's fascinating that here you are, somebody who came from the catering industry, you're now in the film industry, and you're promoting Georgia and all it has to offer. Right. So your next film project is?
I am doing a sci-fi series. I'm working with, here in
Atlanta.
The filmmakers are based in Dahlonega, but we're filming it here in Atlanta.
Any more secrets you can tell us about the sci-fi?
It's kind of like Black Mirror, and they're a bunch of short films. They have all different casts. The only thing the common thread that runs through it is be careful for what you wish for.
I love it.
So it's cool.
Well, what we wish for is more film here in Georgia and more people like you. Terrell, what a pleasure to see you again. Terrell Sandefur here at Cacao, and we're talking about the film industry in Georgia for the Georgia Hollywood Review TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Salir esa